Yo, what up, whoa? What's going on with your family? Welcome to episode 7 of Tough as Balls on this beautiful July 7, 2019 Friday. Hope everyone is enjoying their weekend so far. Everyone celebrated the holiday full of hamburgers and hot dogs and all the sides that you can eat. You know what I mean? So, hope everyone enjoyed themselves. And sit down, relax. We're going to have a little fun today of what we call conversation. So, thanks for joining me. Like I said, episode 7, Tough as Balls. We got a few things we're going to get into right away. Of course, we're going to talk about what went down at last Saturday's AEW Fyter Fest. We're going to get into that some. And a little WWE changes that happened to Raw and SmackDown, specifically the backstage, and two guys that were hired as executive directors. So we're going to talk about that and what I think WWE needs to do to change, to compete, to bring fans back to the shows, to Raw and SmackDown. Because right now the best product is NXT, like we always say, you know. Yeah, so we got that. Second thing we're going to get into is NBA free agency. A few things with that. Of course, the big thing right now is Kawhi's decision. What is going to happen? And as well, why KD left Golden State, the specific reasons why. And we're going to try to figure out the top teams. I don't have them written down. We're going to figure out as we go on today's show what are the top 8 teams in the NBA, the 4 from the East, 4 from the West, who's going to be those dudes next season, okay? As well, we're going to bring up a little baseball and what's going on with my New York Yankees. Yes, what's going on with them. We're going to get into that a bit. And we're going to end it off with some entertainment. We're going to try to fit a little more entertainment in here when it comes to the hip hop. When it comes to hip hop and movies, we're going to try to fit in. I'm going to talk about a few things today. We got Stranger Things season 3 just dropped yesterday. Yes, just watched the first 2 episodes last night. Fire, yeah. New music. We got Tierra Whack, Young Jeezy, Chris Brown, Rick Ross, DJ Mustard, Joyner Lucas. I mean, we got a plethora of things again, as well as J. Cole and his squad Dreamville. They just dropped a new album, Revenge of the Dreamers 3. And also tomorrow night we got UFC 239. It should be a good one. We got John Jones versus Santos and Amanda Nunes versus Holly Holmes. So, oh man, we got quite a bit to talk about today. All right, so sit back, relax, get you a snack or something, and we're going to get right into it right now as we talk about what happened at last Saturday's AEW Fyter Fest, which was free. So if you didn't see it and you're a wrestling fan, you should kick yourself in the butt because it was a good one. Few things I want to pinpoint from Fyter Fest is the first match I want to talk about. Probably I don't know if it stole the show. I don't know if it stole the show, but we saw some crazy things in the match, and that was Cody versus Darby Allin. Now, man, you did not know which way this match was going to go. During the match, one guy will get the upper hand, and right after the next guy will get the, upper hand, and it just went back and forth through this whole match. And what we got was a time limit draw because the 20 limit time limit was up and there wasn't a winner. So I believe we have storyline here, folks, that AEW's been real smart about, that they're going to keep keep drawing on as the months go by until they start their weekly show, which I hear is supposed to be the first week of October. So yeah, excited about that. We got uh, that to look forward to this coming fall. But yeah, that match was pretty exciting, and some of the spots featuring Darby Allin specifically. I'm sorry, folks. I'm just getting familiar with Darby in the last couple months. Um, I didn't realize how small he was. Like, this guy is literally a cruiserweight, but for his size, I mean, you couldn't tell because he took it to Cody. I mean, he really took it to Cody, but some of the punishment Darby took himself was, wow, this guy is tough. This guy is tough. And it just got me excited and wanting to see more from Darby. He seems special. His whole story and background is unique and real, and hopefully we get to see a lot more from Darby Allin for years to come, because this kid has it. And I mean, when it comes to character and when it comes to in ring, I believe he has that it factor that is missing from you could say missing from a lot of guys in WWE. So kudos to Darby. That it was awesome to see him get some shine, and excited to see his growth in AEW. The big thing from that match was the end of the match, where you had Shawn Spears, formerly known as Ty Dillinger, the Perfect 10 in WWE, comes to the ring with a steel chair and cracks Cody right in the head. Now, a lot of people are saying that it was a botch, that shouldn't happen, because what shouldn't happen, if you don't know, folks, Cody had to get 12 staple stitches to close the gash in his head, because I mean, if you heard the shot on TV, I can imagine what it sounded like in the arena, but on TV, I mean, you really heard it. And I don't think it was a botch. I think Cody is being somewhat, and AEW, they're being very specific of what you see. I don't think anything is a mistake at this point. If you watch it, you can. I mean, to me, if you watch it, it looks like it was all planned out. So you can't tell me Cody is not that tough a guy. We see this stuff happen all the time in wrestling, where a guy will take a spot where he's going to get busted open, and I mean, he's really going to get hurt from it, and he knows the consequences. And I think Cody knew the consequences from taking a hit like that. So yeah, I think it was done on purpose. I think it was thought out, and we'll see what shape Cody is in next weekend, because we're going to bring up that at the end of the show. AEW has another one coming for us. Fight for the Fallen coming at us next Saturday. So yeah, we'll see what shape he's in next week as he teams up with his brother Dustin as they go against the Young Bucks. So yeah, it's some exciting stuff going on there in AEW. Yeah, so there's a couple storylines from that match. You got the Darby Allin thing, the time limit draw, and as well you have Shawn Spears coming out cracking Cody in the skull. So I mean, there's a lot that AEW is giving us right now, and we have to appreciate good storyline and good wrestling, because we don't, as wrestling fans, we're not getting that on a consistent basis when it comes to WWE. So that was a good match. Another match was the basically the pre-show, the buy-in. It was funny. You had uh Japanese wrestler Michael Nakazawa versus the CEO, I guess, of CEO Gaming, Alex Jabali, and that was that entertainment, that entertainment part of sports entertainment. And even though they call it pro wrestling more AEW than they do in WWE, WWE uses the term sports entertainment. This was a funny match. It was entertaining. It was cool. I didn't poo poo on it too much because I actually think Michael Nakazawa is funny, and I think that just to start things off before the main show started, I thought it was cool. So you had that. Also, you had the Elite, which being Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros and Laredo Kid. The Lucha Bros being Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. That was also, they never disappoint. I believe the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros, they know each other so well that they can't have a bad match. I thought the Laredo Kid and what Kenny Omega brought to the match was great as well. So I thought we had some cool things that we saw in that 3-on-3 match. And of course the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega come out in their full on Street Fighter costume gear, which was, these guys get it. We know they've gotten it for years. That's why wrestling fans have followed the Young Bucks and Omega through Ring of Honor and New Japan. And those guys just get it. They're entertaining. They're great athletes. And it was just a great match to see. I mean, there was a few slow parts of the match, but I have nothing to complain about with that match. And yeah, that was cool. And the last thing I want to get into with the AEW Fyter Fest was the main event, because you had an unsanctioned match, which AEW made it clear that they had to point out. With it was the last match of the night, which was unsanctioned by AEW, and it was Jon Moxley versus Joey Janela. And that match, wow, talking about two guys getting their butts kicked and still ticking. Like, man, that was a crazy match. One spot in the match I want to two spots in the match. The first one was Jon Moxley getting slammed on the barbed wire table. Wow, that was crazy because his back was literally scarred from top to bottom. I mean, that was ridiculous. Like, and I just think that's what Moxley, formerly known as Dean Ambrose, that's what he was missing when he was in WWE. That's the type of stuff he did before he got in WWE, excuse me. But he looked right at home, in that type of situation, like he didn't miss a beat. But he did take some punishment. I mean, Joey Janela bought it to him. I mean, Joey Janela really bought it to Moxley. Well, another spot I want to point out that happened in that match was Joey Janela. Well, you had Jon Moxley pulling out the bag, and of course, in a classic, in a type of hardcore match like that, when you see a guy pull out a bag, it's the tacks coming, and of course, it was the thumbtacks. And Jon Moxley pours them out. He grabs Joey Janela, proceeds to take off Joey Janela boots and socks, and then take Joey Janela, lift him up, and plant him feet first into the thumbtacks. And Joey Janela screaming his lungs out with thumbtacks at the bottom of his feet. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. It probably has happened before. I'm not an expert with all the independent wrestling companies, but to see Joey Janela his first, my first time seeing him in AEW, and him doing a spot like that and taking that punishment was impressive. So big up to that match. So shout out what Jon Moxley is doing already since he's left WWE, what he has done in New Japan and in AEW. And he's just on fire. So big up to the Death Rider, Jon Moxley. As we move right along, we're going to get into a little NBA free agency, as we've been bringing it up, I believe, the past few episodes, because it's just very intriguing and interesting what's going on with the superstars that were available and the one that still is available. Got us waiting, biting our nails, trying to figure out what he's going to do. Yeah. And that being Kawhi Leonard. Where is he going to go? I mean, I think he knows the power he has right now, because you got cameras following you while you're in SUVs, and you got the helicopter following you with the camera. You know, he's a full on celeb right now, and it's just crazy that the most quietest guy ever in sports today, kind of that Tim Duncan style. You don't complain, you don't open your mouth. And Kawhi Leonard is definitely that. It's just crazy to see a guy like him getting this shine, and I love it. But where's he going to go? Where is Kawhi Leonard going to go? Because I believe he's met with every team he's supposed to have met with. I believe he's met with the Clippers. He's met with the Lakers. He's met. I believe his last meeting was with the Toronto Raptors. So I believe he may have taken other meetings in between. But where's this guy going to go, man? I mean, it's exciting to see, but I'm ready to find out what's going to go down, because already NBA is going to be exciting without a game being played for next season. 2019 through 2020 season will be a good season, even though some guys are going to be down, or a couple guys specifically being Klay Thompson for Golden State, and now KD leaving Golden State and going to Brooklyn, joining Kyrie. So yeah, where is Kawhi going to go? No one knows. Hopefully we'll find out soon, because I specifically would love to know. Yeah, so segue into someone I just mentioned, and that being Kevin Durant. Why am I bringing up Kevin Durant? It has nothing to do with the team he's with now, or why he went to that team. This has to do with why he left Golden State. And it all started back to early on in the season, last season, 2018-2019 season, and Golden State's playing, and Draymond and Kevin Durant get into a little spat, and we hear after the game what exactly was said to Kevin Durant from Draymond Green, and that being, "We don't need you. We won before you were here. You could leave." I may be paraphrasing with some of the words there, but that's what he basically said. And from then on, the relationship wasn't the same. Also, another thing that was brought up is that the relationship between Kevin Durant and Steve Kerr wasn't as kosher as we may have thought it to be. And that one surprises me because I'm like, what is it? It's like, did they make him feel a little left out? Like, it was that it? Did they really make him feel like, yeah, you're the guy? You won the last two MVP of the finals, the last two MVPs of the finals. You won those awards, but did they appreciate him? Did the team appreciate him? I don't think the city appreciate him, and that's just Kevin Durant should have known that before he even went there. Like, dude, you should have known you're not going to get the same love that Steph or even Clay or even Draymond gets in Oakland. They were there from the beginning, so maybe with that, he should understand what the fans, the whole thing with what Draymond said and the whole thing with Steve Kerr. Now, I think that that's definitely a reason that you can't stay. And well, one thing I'm going over is something that was said during their championship parade, their last championship, and basically someone saying that, hey, well, someone from management, we all know who was there at the parade, that said to Kevin Durant, hey, Steph's been here from the beginning. Like, why are you pointing that out? Like, why are you taking it? Why are you taking that moment when you're at your championship parade doing all your speeches? Why you take that moment to point it out that, hey, Steph's been here since the beginning. You're still a new guy. Ha ha ha. Paraphrasing here, folks, not saying words that was said exactly. So yeah, but should they have let Kevin Durant feel more at home? Feel like he was the man. That this is his. He's the guy that's running the place right now. I don't know, because Steph has done a lot for that city. Before they eyes were on them like they are now. Like the world is on them now. Golden State is now totally different because of Steph, because of Draymond, because of Klay Thompson, because of Iguodala, because of all those guys. Even guys from before that aren't, that aren't there anymore. Harrison Barnes, guys like that. They were there from the start, from the building, when Mark Jackson was there, and we got into that on the last podcast. Yeah, so I believe there was some things that Kevin Durant, should have expected, but the whole thing in-house when it comes to teammates and your coach and upper management, I believe they could have handled that a lot different. So that that whole situation with him leaving, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. And now we're gonna have to wait till KD comes back, and we're I don't think we're gonna see him at all next season. So we're not gonna see KD on the court till the 2021 season. So man, we got a while before we see what he's going to be after this injury. So all the storylines that's coming from the NBA is crazy because they got us locked in, and there's no basketball being played. You know, we have the summer league going, and that's about it. So the NBA, shout out to them because they're definitely doing their job with with all the storylines that are out there and all the excitement that's going on with free agency. So yeah, with that said, we're going to get into we're going to try to figure out who are the top teams next season in the NBA on the East and the West. Specifically, my personal opinion. If we're talking about, we're going to start off with the East. I believe the 4 teams that we definitely have to keep an eye on next season in the East. First, of course, we have to start off with Milwaukee. You know, they have Giannis and all the guys they have there. Start off right off the bat. Now, the other two, before I name the last one of these, I'm going to say the other two, I believe, are the 76ers and the Boston Celtics. Before I say the last team, I have to bring up, I'm only picking this team if the player stays with him, and that player stays with the team, and that being Kawhi Leonard. If he stays in Toronto, then of course Toronto is one of those top 4 teams. But I believe that's only if Kawhi stays. I don't know how. I don't think they drop down now too far. I just don't know how far they drop down if Kawhi isn't there. You know, so we have that to look at when it comes to the Eastern Conference in the NBA. In the West, I believe 2 teams we have to start off with right away is Denver, of course, and you have the Lakers, just off of LeBron and Anthony Davis. I mean, that's it. So, but the other 2 teams, I believe we have to look out for in the West. Let's try to figure this out. We already said Denver. We said Utah. No, I don't believe we said Utah. So Utah, add Utah to that. Denver, Utah, the Lakers. Who's the 4th team? Now, it also has to depend on if Kawhi joins this team. And that has to be the Clippers, because a lot of teams got better in the West this offseason. So we have that to look out for when it comes to the NBA in both conferences. But I believe those are the top teams. Once again, on the East, you got the Celtics, you got 76ers, you got the Raptors, and you got the Bucks. And on the West side, you got the Lakers, you got the Denver Nuggets, you have the Clippers, if Kawhi signs there. So, yeah, and you got Utah. So we got those. I believe those are the top teams, top 8 teams that uh, are interesting when it comes to NBA 2019-2020 season. As we move right along, we got quite a bit of entertainment to get into, but before we get into the entertainment side of things, I just want to bring up uh, my well, this is a smidge of MLB because I'm bringing up my personal favorite, the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees. And their record right now, they're still number one in the AL East at 56-29. And yesterday they just took out the New York Mets, I believe. I hope I'm getting that right. I'm not getting that wrong, but yeah, I believe that was the Subway Series still going on, and yeah, they are rolling on. The Yankees are still rolling on. Hopefully, I want to mention next week with baseball. Hopefully, I can get my guy on. If you listen to previous episodes and the sponsor of the Fire Stick, and that's RG, the Fire Stick guy. He's big on baseball, big on Yankees. Both of us are big Yankees fans. He's been Yankees fan since the 60s, I believe. 60s, 70s. He's been following the Yankees, so he has a lot of knowledge on the Yankees. So hopefully we can bring him on the next podcast. But yeah, we got the New York Yankees rolling on, and hopefully they can keep this momentum going before the All-Star break and after the All-Star break, because we know things can change as some teams can gain momentum that started off slow. So it looked like the Yankees bats are cracking and they're hot right now and they're hitting home runs and they're just on fire. And let's just hope that keeps going on as the season progresses. And moving right along, we're going to get into our last topic, entertainment, which I say last topic, but we got quite a few things we'll bring up on the entertainment side. First, that being yesterday was the premiere on Netflix of Stranger Things Season 3, which dropped early yesterday morning on the 4th. And personally, I watched 2 episodes, me and my family. So, yeah, I'm not going to do any spoilers. I don't do that, folks. I don't need anybody coming at me saying, hey, we haven't all watched it yet. Or are you trying to tell us about what happened on stuff we ain't see yet? So, what's up with that? We not going to listen to your stupid podcast. I don't need that energy. I need all positive energy. So, no spoilers on Tough as Balls. I'm just going to say, you better watch it. Now, only watch 2 episodes, so I don't need anyone leaving comments. And yes, you should leave comments. Leave all the comments wherever you listen through Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever you listen to. You know, comment, like, share, do all that stuff. But yeah, I'm not doing any spoilers. You better just watch Stranger Things Season 3 streaming now on Netflix. And I can't wait to get into more episodes as the days go along, because I don't do that, folks. I don't binge watch a season in a day. My son does that crap. He gets on my nerves, like he can't sit with his family and come watch the show with us. He did that last 2 seasons with Stranger Things. So no, folks, I don't do that. I like to take my time with the show, because if you eat it all up in one night, you're not going to have nothing for the next night. So you got to think about the next night, folks. You can't just binge watch everything. It's like freaking crazy head. So yeah, Stranger Things, first 2 episodes I saw were dope. So got that look forward to during the summer, during the rest of the summer. I want to get into some music. And we have a plethora of artists that have dropped music in the last couple weeks or so. Man, the first song I wanna the first artist I want to talk about is Tierra Whack. She's up and coming, female hip hop artist, and she is ill. Like, if you don't know who Tierra Whack is, check her out, please. Her new track is Clones. She's a different artist. I believe she's cut from that Missy Elliott cloth, Busta Rhymes cloth of being eccentric and just being different from what everyone else is offering. I mean, I like her, man. I really like Tierra Whack. So big up to her. Make sure you check out that single she got out called Clones, and it's dope. It's real dope. Also, Young Jeezy has a new single that he dropped. I thought he was gonna retire, which he said a couple years ago, I believe. But he has a new single called One Time, and I think it's cool. I mean, it's not the best Young Jeezy you ever heard, but I mean, it's cool for what it is. Just a little something, a little morsel, a little sample size. If he's making a comeback, I believe he's been preaching this whole Thug Motivation 104, so it'll be his fourth edition of Thug Motivation, if that is the project he dropped. So I mean, I thought it was cool. It's not something I don't think I'll put on repeat, but it's cool. It's Young Jeezy, and it's good to see he's back at it again. Also, moving on to another artist that dropped his album, and that being Chris Brown, dropped his new album Indigo. Now I'm not gonna review that yet because I haven't checked it out. I downloaded it a few days ago. I still gotta check it out. I mean, you see, with all this content I give you folks, I'm the one. I'm not having anyone watch or listen to anything. I check this stuff out personally, and I want to give you my personal opinion on stuff, and I will bring you what I think of Chris Brown's Indigo on the next show. So with that said, also Rick Ross has dropped a new single. He's dropped a couple singles within the last couple weeks. So shout out Rick Ross. Look like we're gonna get a new Ricky Rose project. So looking forward to that. I like the album. It's gangster, of course. It's West Coast. It's that DJ Mustard style. So check out that album, Perfect 10, by DJ Mustard. Another track I want to get into is by Joyner Lucas. He dropped another track. This one's called Broken Stupid. I don't want to give too much away if you haven't checked it out, but there's a sample that he used in there that's very familiar, that hip hop fans would love. So make sure. Personally, I love Joyner Lucas. You know, he's from New England. He's from Worcester, Mass, which is a little over an hour from where I'm at. So big up to Joyner Lucas, staying on fire with everything he's doing. Also, last but not least, on the music end, I want to bring up a new album from J. Cole and his team Dreamville. They got a new project, and they got a ton of artists featured on there. A new album from J. Cole and Dreamville called Revenge of the Dreamers 3. So I haven't checked that one out. I believe that one just dropped today or in the last couple days. So I have that one to check out and review, and I will let you know what I think about it. I like of late everything from J. Cole, so I think this album should be great. So that's on the music side of things. It's a lot of music, man, that's out there. So if you haven't listened, make sure, whatever streaming service you got, make sure you download all those projects that I mentioned. And before we get out of here, some things to look forward to that are coming up this weekend. We got UFC 239. We got John Jones versus Thiago Santos. And in the co-main event, we have Amanda Nunes versus Holly Holmes. So this is one that I'm excited about, that I'm looking forward to. UFC, they basically drop a pay-per-view or a fight every Saturday. So I can't keep up with every fight and every fighter. But this one, specifically these two fights, there are other fights on the card, but specifically these two matches, the main event and co-main event, that I am looking forward to. So make sure you check that out tomorrow night. UFC 239, John Bones Jones versus Thiago Santos, and Amanda Nunes versus Holly Holmes. Should be an exciting one. I'm definitely excited about that. And before we get out of here, I just want to mention that one movie in particular, Spider-Man Far From Home, just came out. I haven't checked it out yet. I wanted to go see it, and my son, he's gonna be busy. Let's wait till next week. We can see it then when it's not busy. So we're going to check that out this coming week. So I will have my personal opinion and review of Spider-Man Far From Home, which I'm excited about because we got Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio, and yeah, it should be a good one. So we're gonna have that review next week, and yeah, so we're gonna have what happened at UFC 239. We're gonna get into my review of Spider-Man Far From Home, and a few of those albums that I mentioned, or projects I mentioned earlier. Got J. Cole and Dreamville, got Chris Brown album, Indigo album. Yeah, so yeah, we got some reviews coming up next week, my thoughts, my personal opinions. Yeah, so on that note, I appreciate you joining me again on another episode of Tough as Balls. About to get up out of here. Make sure you follow the show on Facebook and Twitter at Tough as Balls. Same on Instagram at Tough as Balls. Okay, so make sure you follow on all those platforms. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever service you are listening on, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you comment. And yeah, we're about to get up out of here. I'm your host, Mark Brown. This has been another episode of Tough as Balls. Peace. Had to put it on my back, make it breathe life. Now I'm moving non-stop, about to take flight. Green light, about to take flight. Had to struggle through them days, staying up at night. When nobody had my back, I had to stay and fight. Grinding up and down the road because it's my delight. Always on the move, cause I get it in. It's the only way to do it if you trying to win. They never comprehend, they wanna see you fail. And you could tell every hater they can go to hell. Only losers wanna see another person fall. Cause in their lifetime they never had a chance to ball. Not like cocaine.